What's up, people? We are live on a Tuesday. How we doing, nerds? What's up? How's everybody doing? I am doing just swell. It finally stopped raining here. We got some good clips. How is everybody doing? The regulars are a trickling in. We're ready to have some fun. And I think we know why Judge Vance was out. My man with his shoulder, probably. That's why we haven't seen him in a while. So let's get to his little lineup because he had some cards in there today. Let's roll.
I think they're going to come in there out of order, but she ain't having it. Mr. LeBerg, stand on the X. Yeah. How you doing, Mr. LeBerg?
Michael Lamont.
Step over there on the X for me. The X behind you.
Mr. LeBerg,
Face
you
the
really
TV.
on the battery. You understand charge?
I'm bringing lumber.
Mr. LeBerg,
He's saying that's not his name.
what is your name?
Brandon Michael Lamont, not Brandon Lombard.
Okay. Deputy, you got a date of birth on him?
I had 12 on the paperwork. I have 12/10/90.
Mr. LeBerg, is that your well, whatever your name is that your date of birth?
Whatever your name is.
My name
This
is.
came out of an assisted living facility.
Okay.
All right.
My date of birth is 6/21/89. I said my date of birth is 6/21/1989.
Okay. Yes. All right. We got criminal history on LeBerg, not this guy necessarily.
The history I have is on another one at 12/10/90.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Gotta love Vance.
All right, he's not gonna be able to see this. Did you fill out the paperwork for a public defender, sir? Do you remember that? Do you remember
What?
filling out the paperwork?
I didn't have a pen.
You didn't have a pen, but did somebody ask you
No.
questions?
You asked me questions.
How much money do you make?
I have money at the bank, sir.
I know. Do you get monthly payments from SSI?
I not need SSI. I have money at the bank, sir.
Yeah.
I can leave. I have money at the bank, sir.
Okay. All right. We're gonna have to pass him and get a good ID on him.
Yes,
Bring
sir.
him back tomorrow.
Yes, sir. All right, you can step out, sir.
Yeah.
6825. Let them know.
Yeah, they don't.
Next.
6 months. That's him.
Something else.
Oh boy.
Well, he's also
State your name.
he's out of an assisted living facility, so he's gonna have some other competency issues too.
It's Moses.
Yeah, I see.
Who arrested Moses?
All right, Mr. McNair, you're fully court charged with criminal mischief. You understand that charge?
Yes.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true, sir?
Yes.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify for the services of the public defender's office. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that? Deputy, criminal history?
This poor guy can't even have matching stripes. He's got new pants and old top.
22 disorderly. He has sentences all the way through February of this year. He just was released. He had a disorderly times 2 in 22, another sentence in 22. VOPs 21, 18, 2 weapon missiles into a dwelling, trespass, 17, robbery, no firearm, petty theft, trespass times 2, petty theft goes back to 15 with 2 ag assaults.
$2,500 on the criminal mischief bond is set for that, and then May 3rd at 8:30 is going to be his court date. No contact
Yes,
with the
sir.
alleged victim.
Turn step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Next. Red X, sir. State your name.
Mr. Patel, you're for the court charge disorderly conduct. You understand that charge?
You understand what you're charged
Oh,
with?
yes, yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes.
Based on your application, I find you do qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Oh, grab your membership.
Yeah, and
Peach is throwing them in.
this happened at the probation office.
Yes, I was donating money. I didn't know that was illegal, so I didn't know.
I'm not going to revoke.
He got in trouble at the probation office. I can't.
On anything. Bond's going to be $1,000 on this. I'm going to set your court date for tomorrow, May 3rd at 8:30.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr.
Wexler.
Patel, you do qualify for a public defender. I'm going to get you one. So talk to your public defender tomorrow about your case.
IT is in the house. I haven't opened up the slots yet, Sean.
And I do have a bond, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
State your name, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Howard, you're fully court charged criminal use of personal ID times 4. Do you understand the charges?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Deputy, criminal history?
This year, less than 20, false ID, resisting a merchant, and petty theft. That's it.
What do you want to tell me?
I don't know what's going on. I've been here before you. I think it was something.
Yeah. Come on.
This is a saucy one.
Yesterday, I wake up to a bunch of holes.
Look at him.
Well, this is when you read this, you're just gonna think this is foolishness because it's over nothing. But he's picked up 4 felonies because of nothing. I mean, like he's got when you look at what he's got to show. When you look at what he's got to show for it.
Thank you, Natalie.
What? I'm just telling you, it's gonna be. You gonna ride herd on him? You gonna ride herd on him and keep him out of? Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Is there something else going on though? Is he? I mean, I know what I saw him for last time. You think that's got part of it?
I think that might be probably.
That's okay.
Not thinking right.
Okay, that's fine. All right, Mr. Howard, I'm going to release you on what's called pre-trial release. You need to be at the pre-trial release office before 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to put on here that you're going to have to submit to random UAs while you're on release. You understand that?
Can you explain what that is?
They're going to P-test.
Random UA? Okay.
Now listen to me, Mr. Howard, because I want you to be clear about this. We do this for a living, so we've got a pretty good idea on what's going on, okay? So hypothetically speaking, if you've used, I don't know, something like marijuana in the last 30 days, that will still be in your system, okay? I don't want you to use that as an excuse not to show up because they expect if you've used it in the last 30 days that there's going to be a trace amount still in your system. We can tell about that, and that will eventually go to nothing because you're going to stop using while you're on pretrial release, right? Right.
Yes, sir.
We do this for a living, though. So if you go out tonight and have a big time, we'll be able to tell that too. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So court date's gonna be June 5th at 9 o'clock.
Don't be going out and having a big time. It's a big time.
Step to your right. Next.
Thank you, Basia.
Step on the red X, sir.
Wait till they call you. Good luck, sir.
This
All
was
right, Mr.
just.
Dixon, fully court charge of battery, victim being over the age of 65.
She just murders Roe. Listen to this charge.
You understand that?
Step on the red X, sir.
Wait till they call you. Good luck, sir. All right, Mr. Dixon, full court charge of battery, victim being over the age of 65. You understand that charge?
Yes.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes.
Based on your application, if you do qualify, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No.
Deputy, criminal history?
21 domestic by strangulation, 13 DUI, DWLSR, 12 DUI, 11 crime, aggravated abuse of elderly, intimidating the witness, goes back to 2005. They have a note that he may still be on probation.
This is the cross complaint from the guy with the brick.
Yes.
Preach.
Golly Moses. Hell.
Laura, it's
Hey,
raining
man.
memberships,
He fell
Laura.
and hurt his hip. You better be glad he didn't break it. It'd be all over you. Once they break a hip, it's over. Golly Moses. Y'all get along with each other. All right, Mr. Dixon. Oh, I'm going to release you on pretrial release. No contact, direct, indirectly, or through a third party with alleged victim. I know y'all live together, but y'all need to avoid each other like the plague.
Yes, sir.
Look
Be
at
at the pretrial release office before 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to have to pay to get out, okay?
This ain't him.
Appreciate that, sir.
That's not him. No, that's not him at all. Step to your right, sir. Want to look at him?
I honestly think Judge Vance is a court nerd. He's one of us. He is the watcher because he gets such a kick out of these defendants. Look at his face. Look at his face.
You know, somebody putting a fence up.
Next,
Let's talk back to Kate. I'm just curious. Somebody
red
putting a
X.
fence up?
State your name.
This guy, it's one
Somebody
after
putting a fence
another.
up? Okay.
This was Murderer's
I figured
Row.
that was probably it. Trying to read between the lines. I figured that was probably what was going on. All right. Good luck to y'all. Sorry. All right,
State
Mr.
your
Herndon,
name.
Mr. Herndon, you're fully court charged driving license suspended revoked as an habitual offender and dealing in stolen property. You understand those charges?
Sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify for the services of the public defender's office. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Deputy, criminal history?
Show a hold in place. I'm thinking it's VOP. Is that what county is it?
Hit AK. AK, thanks KCC.
It's Jackson County.
Jackson. Okay. Well, Mr. Herndon, you're going to have to take care of your local charges first. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set a $2,500 bond on the driving license suspended revoked, a $5,000 bond on the dealing and stolen property. Your court date is May the 22nd at 9 o'clock. But obviously, even
Thank
if I
you,
release you on
00.
your own recognizance, you still got to hold out of Jackson, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Step to your right. Next. Red X, sir. Face the TV. State your name.
Jamar Henry.
Mr. Henry, you're fully court charged burglary of a vehicle or conveyance and petty theft. You understand those charges?
Yes.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify for the services of the public defender's office. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No.
Deputy, criminal history?
Credit card fraud times 7 and 22.
Ooh.
Entered an automobile with intent and 20 and 22 times 2. Shoplifting 22. He had an FFJ earlier this year showing that he might be still on bond in another county in Florida. I'm just telling
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry.
I'm just reading. His
We hit AK just now. 10K. We have to. I'm gonna throw out a poll what we should do for the 10K celebration.
history goes back to 2000 with the escape and a reckless endangerment.
Bond set 15,000 on burglary, 5,000 on theft. Court date's going to be May 15th at 9 o'clock. No contact with the alleged victim.
All right, step to your right to the T, sir. Mr. Hyatt is not going to make it. He is
Thank you,
not
Blake.
cooperating.
Whoa!
On
Is this?
camera.
Do we have a repeat? Oh my God. I didn't see this
Yeah.
one.
Do we need to bring him back tomorrow? Or should
Thank
I go
you,
ahead and
Charles. I
proceed?
appreciate it, but
Mm-mm.
You don't want no part of that?
Mm-mm.
What's his criminal history?
yeah, the
22,
pigeon.
trespass, petty theft 17, escape, burglary, loitering, vehicle grand theft 17, FTA 16, resisting trespass, habitual 17. It goes back to 2000 with a loiter.
15,000, May 15th, 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. State your name, sir.
Lurch.
Mr. Crane, you're before the court on a violation of probation for what was originally resisting and paraphernalia. You're also before the court on grand theft and criminal use of ID. Do you understand those
Oof.
charges?
Yes, sir.
These guys are just
I
career
understand you've been given
criminals.
copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
I have, sir.
Based on your application, if unless you do qualify, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
Thank you, sir.
All right, on the VOP, your bond's held without court.
Like, I really didn't understand, like, career criminal. Like, I was always thinking, like, you get in trouble once and then you learn your lesson, you know, like, you know, whatever. I did stuff when I was young. We all did. But, like, you hear these charges. These guys are, like, career criminals. Like, legit career criminals. It's amazing to me. It just amazes
Court
me.
date's going to be May 31st.
I'm
at
so
8:30.
boring.
In front of Judge Grammer. On the grand theft, bond's 5,000. The criminal use of ID is 5,000. Your court date on those cases will be May 22nd at 9 o'clock. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Let's step to your right to the T. Next.
These are the last. These are the last two, and then we're gonna hop over to the DDC. I got a surprise
State
from
your
the
name.
DDC. Oh boy.
Mr. Casey, you're fully court on an in-state warrants violation of probation for what was originally a lewd and lascivious battery charge out of Chipley. You understand that, sir? Judge Patterson up in Chipley has asked and requested the honor of your presence. We're going to hold you without bond. Ask the Bay County Sheriff's Office to coordinate your transport back to Chipley so you can get this behind you as quickly as possible. Return date's going to be May 16th.
Slide over to the T. When the light comes on, sign.
Last one, and then we are gonna go
Next.
to DDC.
State your name, sir.
Frodo.
Mr. Baker, you're full court on the violation of probation for what was originally possession of meth. You're going to order held without bond. Your court date
Mr. Baggins.
is June 15th at 9 o'clock.
Time for the possession and for violation? Sure. That was
This is just for the violation on the possession of meth charge.
What a tweaker.
Yes, sir. But what I'm saying is, yesterday I was told I had a court date on the 15th of June
Correct.
for the possession charge, and it's, now they'll do it the same day.
Yes, they're putting them on the same day.
Same day.
They'll move
Awesome.
them.
Just a good chance
Same
I
day.
can get out then.
Yes. There's a
Oh,
chance.
what the hell? One more.
Not
I think this
outstanding
is
chance.
this is like the greatest
I
hits
would
of
put money
Vance.
on it, but there's a chance.
Sign that pad like you did yesterday.
Next.
Look at it.
Your president.
Here we go.
I'm not talking to you. State your name, sir.
Caleb Kirk.
Mr. Kirk, your full court charge of driving under the influence with property damage, personal injury, and leaving the scene without giving information. Do you understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
I'm seeing you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. You weren't able to fill out the paperwork for the public defender, but I need to know if you're going to hire your own attorney to represent yourself or apply for a public defender.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, these are hard questions. I know.
Probably apply for a public defender.
Okay. Oh, what do you do for a living?
I work at a marina.
In Ohio?
Yes, sir.
Okay. About how much do you make a week?
I work in a marina in Ohio. I can't.
For a month.
A week, like $800, $700 or $800.
Yeah, you're not going to qualify for a public defender on that salary. They're gonna tell you that you don't qualify. Okay, just when you get the paperwork. I'm just giving you a heads up. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
What brings you down here from Ohio?
What's up, Robert?
On vacation.
Yeah. Come on vacation, leave on probation, return on violation. It's pretty standard. Ohio State fan?
Yes, sir.
That's a shame. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to get over that with you. I'm going to try to get past that, Mr. Kirk.
Trivia. Who's Judge Vance's favorite college football team? Ready, go.
All right, Deputy, criminal history.
FCIC was down. He has no local, but they couldn't run the FCIC.
Okay, well, I don't want to treat him like I would treat somebody that I don't know their criminal history 30 with random or with no alcohol.
Nope.
No alcohol while you're on release, okay?
I honestly didn't even have any alcohol. So
Alabama.
I took.
Don't talk about the facts of your case. Don't talk about the facts of your case. Don't admit to anything, okay?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Roll Tide.
There it is. Roll Tide. He's the best. He is the best. I swear. He's so underrated, guys. He's fantastic. Oh, God. Oh, thank you, Shane, Jersey boy, for the dono. Thank you, Donna, for the dono. Robert Morley, I was laughing at the marina because it's just the way he said it. It could very well be the Great Lakes. It's just hysterical. And good to see you, Mr. Morley. Let's
When
go.
the green light comes on, sign.
That guy was great.
Next.
And who wrote in the comments he can't drive 55? I could just cut the live and just do Judge Vance the whole time.
Mr. Parker, you're before court charged with assault. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
What?
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify for the service of the Public Defender's Office. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender to represent you, so you have an attorney now. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Deputy, criminal history?
Nothing new since 11, and that was a DWLSR.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Mr. Parker, without talking about the facts of your case, because I don't want you to say anything to be used against you. Who is this Mr. Henson to you?
That is my stepson.
Okay, that's all I need to know. All right. So, Mr. Parker, I'm going to release you on what's called pretrial release. You need to
Yes,
get to the
sir.
pretrial release office after court tomorrow, okay?
Yes, sir.
So you come to court first thing in the morning, May 3rd at 8:30. You're to have no contact directly, indirectly, or through a third party with Joshua Henson. You understand that?
I can't go home.
You can't go home if he lives there. I know. That's one.
I pay rent there.
Hey,
What if I get a trespass?
What?
What? No.
I mean,
But after
he's
pre-trial, I
16.
should be able to go back to live.
Oh no, I don't know about that. He's 16, right?
He's 17.
17. Just turned
school.
17.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
well
out of school.
that's between you and him. That's got nothing to do with me right now. Okay, he's been listed as the victim in a domestic case. I've got no choice. I've got to put a no contact order. I don't have a choice. It's not discretionary. I don't for the duration of the case or until he asks me to lift it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, here we go. Let's do it. You ready for this one? Boom!
Kitchen. I'm sorry that I look so. Oh my God, what's that?
I don't know. No, we don't need to apologize, Mr. Kitchen.
Okay.
No worries, Mr. Kitchen. Good afternoon, sir.
It's really hard for me to stand. I'm withdrawing from a pain medication.
Okay, you're being
feel bad
recorded,
for
so
him.
just watch what you say. I don't want you to say anything that can be used against you.
My lawyer knows all that.
Okay, okay.
It's
You're here, sir.
Pain medication. And so that's why it's hard for me to stand up. Would it be possible
All
for
right.
me to sit down? I can
Okay,
barely
yeah,
stand up.
well, if you do need to sit down, let the court know, and then we can get you a chair. One moment, are you one? Yes,
Thank you, sir.
it is. Okay, any objection for APA having that? One moment, Mr. Kitchens. You can take that one, sir. I was getting it from you after the arraignment. That's fine. Mr. Kitchen, you're here for case 23044-590. People State of Michigan versus Kurt George Kitchen. Appearance, please.
Yes. Thank you, for the people.
I know he's sitting, but the way he's sitting. This poor guy, man. This poor guy. I've been there, man. He's in for a world of hurt.
Thank you. Both court waive formal reading and their plea of not guilty. Mr. Kitchen, the court scheduling a pre-trial date, sir. You must. Oh, thank you, DDC, for getting him a chair. That's kind as always. Mr. Kitchen, pre-trial date June 22nd. That's a Thursday, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Bryant.
Ooh.
June 22nd, 8:30 via Zoom in front of Judge Bryant.
And he's got Bryant. Oh.
At the 36th District Court. Understood, sir?
So I have to call something with a phone and Zoom to them? Is that what I have to do?
Well, it's not a him, it's a her. Yep, exactly. Computer, phone, it's virtual technology, sir, similar to what we're using today. So, okay, not guilty, please. Anything as the bond from the people.
Your Honor.
Just had to tell him it was virtual technology.
Absolutely. No objection.
Your Honor, Mr. Kitchen, to my knowledge, has no prior criminal history, not on probation or parole, nothing pending. He does receive SSI. He
It's Kitch's husband.
understands no contact with the complaining witness. It is correct that they were living together, the roommate. He does have an alternative place to stay. He does provide us with that. You know, absolutely no contact whatsoever. He's a lifelong resident. I'm not aware of any case history. He is.
What's up, Tupac?
Care,
hey, Michael.
Curious that he has bruises on his head. I'm not sure what it is from or what.
He does.
It's charged with misdemeanor. And for the record, it appears my client is 5 years old. When 37, my client is, he's at the side, have all of these health issues. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a personal.
Why did you put their ages on the record?
Your Honor.
I think I understand why counsel ended up putting.
Yes, and Your Honor, for
I don't.
Mr. Kitchen being 6 years old and he is banned right now during the arraignment and a complaining witness being much younger and for my client to be charged with this, there's 2 sides to every story. I know that we are here for arraignment. I don't want to go too much into the fact, but I will say that this is an individual with no case history, no criminal history, not a probation parole, receiving SSI in this condition. So I respectfully ask the court.
Thank you. Any response from the people? If you're ready, take your time with that.
No, I believe people are ready, Your Honor. And I do understand why defense counsel did end up mentioning the ages. In this case, however, putting ages aside, putting genders aside, we're talking about an individual who allegedly barricaded himself in and then ultimately performed an assault on the complaining witness, the roommate, in this matter. The roommate did allegedly sustain injuries. We have a finger, we have a head, as well as a hurt back from the window that the individual was trying to get out of. But the people also do know that there aren't any previous felony convictions in this matter. The people would be satisfied, Your Honor, if with all due respect, for a personal bond, albeit a reasonably high personal bond because of the assault.
Do you have a number? Do you have a number in mind?
What's that?
For a personal bond, do you have a number in mind?
Probably anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000 for the personal bond. There will be absolutely no contact whatsoever with the complaint or the address. I see it's a shared address. Is no contact with the complaint or the address of the personal bond.
Thank you. Any response?
There are no objections to that. I would just like to add that the report appears to explain what is the client,
Yep. Thank you. And I believe he's sitting down because he said he was withdrawing from pain medication. The court has taken into consideration the information alleged in the investigator's report, both arguments from counsel, which both asking for a personal bond. You have ties to the community, no capious history or prior criminal convictions the court's aware of. It's a very serious allegation, sir, and an assaultive allegation. With the lack of capious history or criminal convictions and taking into consideration your ties to the community, the court will file a recommendation from both parties. And bond will be set at $14,000 personal bond with the following conditions. Mr. Kitchen, during this bond, sir, there's no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. Is that understood? Yes? Thank you. And you're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapons. No weapons. Do not go back to the area or premises until told otherwise. Do not go anywhere near 969 Fernhill Street in Detroit during this bond. Is that clear?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, sir. And absolutely no contact with Candace
Or through a third
Pizak.
party. Right.
No contact with Ms. Pizak means no contact of any kind. No contact orally, in writing, through a third party, at her place of residency on the Fernhill Street or wherever that may be, or through any forms of social media. No contact with Candace Pizak or the Fernhill address. Is that understood, Mr. Kitchen?
Understood.
Okay, so you're being released on a personal bond, sir. Do you have any questions about just your court date or your bond conditions only? Anything else you can ask your attorney?
I'm good.
Can you repeat those court dates for me, please, Magistrate Compare?
Absolutely. It's one court date, pre-trial date via Zoom, June 22nd, Thursday, in front of Judge Bryant at the 36th District Court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Come on, man.
You're okay. You okay, Mr. Kitchen? You doing okay, sir? You
Yes,
feel all right?
I'm withdrawing from the drug, but other than that, I'm
Understood.
okay.
Well, okay. Well, good luck with everything you have going on, Mr. Kitchen. Black line.
So there isn't one bare-chested guy on LawTube. There is two. And I don't like this. I don't like this flirting he's got going on. What is he doing with my lady? Does he know what we got going on? He don't become an open shirt. She's taken. I don't like it.
the city of Wyandotte versus Daniel Schneider, 23888. And appearance, counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Schneider. Mr. Schneider, would you please state your name for the record?
Daniel Scott Schneider.
All right, thank you. And today is the date scheduled for an arraignment as your client's in custody. And counsel, as to the arraignment.
As to the arraignment, Judge.
I don't know what's worse, a bare-chested guy or that rug on the top, on the prosecutor. Good grief.
All right, the court will waive the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment. And
He did up the ante, Matt. What's up, Matt Harris?
I'm just filling out the notice for prosecuting officials, counsel. Sure. As to bond for your client.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to know that Mr. Schneider is 25 years old. He is gainfully employed.
25?
At Fairlane Car Wash in Dearborn. He does not have any prior criminal history. Doesn't have any pending matters out of any other court or jurisdiction. He's not currently on probation or parole. And after speaking with him at length this morning, he did assure me that he would be appearing at all future court dates. With that respect, he does not have any history of absconding from any honorable court.
so the court is going to schedule this matter for pretrial on May 16th at 9 a.m.
16th at 9 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I got it. I'll be there.
Sorry?
I'll make sure I'm there.
Okay, and sir, okay, it says you live in Dearborn, but then it indicates that you're homeless. So where do you live, sir?
Well, I was actually just at my mom's. She just put me out. But, for the longest time, for the past 5 years, I've been staying at these people, it's called the roomies in Dearborn Heights. And a lot of people who stay there are just, besides one person that I actually care about a lot. And all the rest of them go to hell. A bunch of bottom of the barrels still here at garbages. That's what I've been doing.
Thank you, Kitch.
They don't work. They don't do nothing. And the thing that, I shouldn't be talking. I just want to rest after this long stuff. Oh.
Okay, sir, well, I looked at it, I'm not quite sure of everything you just stated. So where is it that you live, sir?
Oh, I have nowhere right now. Well, I was at my mom's place, but I went and stayed over at a friend's and I was drinking for a couple of days. So, I wasn't allowed to be there drinking at mom's place. And I was supposed to
Where did your mom live, sir?
in Romulus.
The bailiffs are whispering again.
I was actually going to go stay at my manager's place in the east side of Detroit, actually. I was supposed to be at work today, but, thankfully, maybe, I don't know.
Okay, and sir, you work at a car wash and you earn $4 an hour plus tips?
Yep.
$4 an hour, you think?
Yes, I do. Well, that's like salary, for the paychecks and the tips or whatever, the customers want to tip.
I imagine it's similar to like a waitressing job where they make $3.65 an hour plus tips.
Oh, it's raining. JoJo's throwing up the memberships. Thank you, JoJo.
Well, the court has some concerns that Mr. Schneider doesn't have a place to live. And I'm not really sure where we would find him. How long have you been down in this area, sir?
Wow, we are split.
I knew people out here for some time now. I've been out here for about 7-8 years.
We are split. Oh, there we
On and
go.
off.
Okay, where were you before here?
Romulus.
Okay. And sir,
See you
if you were
later,
to
Carrie.
testify, what would be in your system?
What is that?
If you were to test today, if we were to test you for drugs or alcohol, what would be in your system?
Just THC and alcohol. Nothing more. I'll take a test anytime. Maybe get a little water to a water fountain. I'll be ready. Or a blood draw. However,
Okay.
But I can assure you there is nothing besides THC or nothing beyond legal limits within my system. I promise you that. Because I'm not a scumbag.
Okay. And sir, what, do you have a medical?
Within my system. I promise you that. Because I'm not a scumbag.
Okay. And sir, what, do you have a medical marijuana prescription or not?
No, I just love smoking.
Okay. And do you have an address for your mom?
5859 Airborne, Michigan. You can spell that A-I.
No, that's okay, so I have that, thank you. Isn't that in Romulus?
Oh yeah, I'm not exactly sure about the zip code though.
That's getting clipped.
Okay, but I thought your mom was in Dearborn.
Definitely Toby.
What's that?
I thought your mom was in Dearborn.
Oh no, that's the Roomies that I know. Dearborn Heights, that is.
And he works in Dearborn.
Okay.
That's where the car wash is.
I hate to pause it, but just think about what he said. He is in court at the Wyandotte Sallyport. He has no shirt on. He doesn't even zip it up. He says he's not a scumbag. I can't. He could very well be not a scumbag, but right now, appearance is everything, buddy.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I just want to make sure that Mr. Schneider will be returning to court. The court doesn't have anywhere that they can locate Mr. Schneider. He hasn't been able to give a valid address. And so the court's going to indicate a $3,500 10% bond. And the event bond is posted, GPS tether, Wayne County Jail. GPS and alcohol tether. Not to possess and consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. All right.
Oh, boy.
And this is the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Jacqueline Lash. 2-3.
Okay, so we're going to come back to Judge Mom because we got a doozy from Judge Mom. But I'm going to go, I don't know if you guys watch her during the day, Judge Maya Evans. She deals with child support mostly. She gets the creme de la creme. If you don't subscribe to her, find her channel. She is phenomenal. And this one is a goodie.
Williams, state your name, please.
Ramika Williams.
Okay.
So if you had a look, because I know all you nerds do this, as soon as we get the full Zoom, you try to find the one that is going to be the best and funniest part of the Zoom. So let's see who is the funniest. Which one do you go to? Ready? Go.
And you heard me recite to the court the agreements between you and Mr. Robinson Jackson. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And those are your agreements, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe that those terms of the order would be in the best interest of your children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're asking the court to approve those terms of the order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I would like to pass the witness and call Mr. Robinson Jackson. Sir, state your name, please.
My name is James Jackson.
Ding, 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 ding. You guys are the best.
Okay, so you don't go by Robinson Jackson, sir? Do you go?
I don't know which other one y'all got up in the system.
Okay, thank you. And you heard me recite to the court the agreement between you and Miss Williams. Is that correct?
Well,
and are those your agreements?
I don't know. I need to talk to somebody furthermore. But I don't want to be a disruption. Like you said, I was being disruption. I don't want to be a disruption. I need to talk to somebody furthermore.
Okay. So you don't agree that you should have the standard possession and access order?
Yes, I do. But I have a lot of
agreements too. Okay, what we're doing right now, sir, is just discussing, just reciting to the court what you and Ms. Williams agreed to. We're going to have a hearing on all the other issues, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And sir, do you agree to the exchange at the Mesquite Police Department?
We can meet anywhere, but yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you also agree that Ms. Williams should be ordered to apply for the government medical plan. Is that correct?
I don't know. I don't trust him, man. I think I should do it. I don't trust him at all.
My kids are already on medication.
Okay, so wait one second.
I don't need to be
wait, guys.
No, I know what's up with me, boy.
1 second. No one's to talk over the other party, and he's the witness. So, ma'am, do not interrupt his testimony. What? Excuse me? Okay, so when I can interrupt anyone, because it's my courtroom. So I don't want the mother to interrupt your testimony while you are testifying, okay? You may proceed.
Okay. So, sir, you agree that Ms. Williams will enroll the children in the government medical plan. Is that correct?
No, I don't think she should be doing anything with my children, man.
All right. Okay, pass the witness, Your Honor, if I can just proceed with the trial in this case?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm going to recall Ms. Williams. So Ms. Williams, has there been any incidents of family violence in the past 2 years between you and Mr. Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and 1 second, Ms. Hood. Ms. Williams, are you the only one with the children right now?
It's they're in the room with me, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're not able to go into a quiet area for this hearing?
I could ask somebody to sit in the room with them, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna need you in a quiet area so I can hear your testimony.
I think she froze, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, she froze. Okay.
Okay, I wouldn't put it differently.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Hood.
All right. So when was the last incident of family violence?
Recently in February on Valentine's Day, he came up to my job and made a big scene and had to get arrested.
So he was arrested. Okay. Was there a physical violence?
He physically hit one of my coworkers, but he didn't hit me because I wouldn't come from the back.
And was there a restraining order put in place?
Yes, ma'am, a protection order for me and my children and my family members that live with me.
Is it still in place?
It might be, but I think it's supposed to end sometime in May. I'm supposed to go up there and redo it.
Okay. Now, does Mr. Jackson know where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's back up. Was
he
arrested?
Yes, ma'am.
And why did he hit the coworker?
I didn't hit nobody. I didn't hit nobody, Judge.
Mr. Jackson, I'm gonna put you on mute. I'm asking her questions. We're gonna ask you the same questions. You're gonna be able to tell me your side of it. She said that's what happened. I have follow-up questions. Questions will be asked of you. Miss Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
Why was the coworker hit? That's what you're saying.
They tried to get him to exit the building. Like, they tried to get him to leave. I guess he came in saying harsh things, and my boss tried to get him to leave, and it made a big scene.
Okay, were there any other incidents of family violence between you and him?
Since then, I have been in no contact with him besides that one.
Not since then, before February the 14th.
Before then, it's always just minor threats, things that he say, stuff that he say he gonna do, but he never has contact with me, ma'am, no.
Has he ever threatened to hurt you or the children?
Me all the time, never my children.
Okay. Have you ever threatened to hurt him?
Physically, I don't
Mr.
really
Jackson,
know.
stop. I'm gonna ask you the same questions. Stop and calm down. Have you ever threatened to harm him?
No, I've never physically
I didn't ask you physically. You got to listen to the questions, guys.
No,
Don't each other. You got to listen. A threat and physical, two different things. I asked you, have you ever threatened to harm him?
No, ma'am. I was saying I never threatened to physically harm him.
Okay. Threaten him at all. Any threat?
Yes. Probably saying stuff back. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right. Has he ever been granted any restraining orders or protective orders against you?
Okay. Can you off the Wi-Fi? It's saying internet connection.
Your Honor, I think they both have people in the rooms with them.
They do. And you both are grown adults and you don't need anyone to give you any testimony. You were there. They weren't. Has he been granted any restraining orders or protective orders against you for him being the victim of any family violence from you, Ms. Williams?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you ever been arrested regarding any domestic violence towards him?
No, ma'am.
Okay. How old are the 4 children?
My youngest 2 will be 7 months on the 28th, and my oldest.
That means I just need to know their age right now, not what they're going to be. What are they?
7 months, and then the other ones are 1.
The other one, they're triplets?
The older ones, it's 2 sets of twins. The older ones are 1, and the younger ones are 7 months.
Gotcha. 1-year-old twins and 7-month-old twins. Okay. All right. Now, Ms. Hood, you may proceed.
Okay. Ms. Williams, do you have concerns about
Mr. Jackson? I'm sorry. You need to stay your face in your screen. Go ahead, Ms. Hood.
Okay. Ms. Williams, does Mr. Jackson know where you live now?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you plan on moving?
Yes, ma'am.
If you move, would you have concerns about Mr. Jackson knowing where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
And so because of your, based off of the prior history of family violence, are you asking the court to grant you a finding of non-disclosure today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let's see here, are you asking the court to name you as the primary conservator who gets to determine the primary residence of the children in Dallas or contiguous counties?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you and Mr. Jackson ever lived together with the children? Together?
No, ma'am.
Okay, never. Okay.
Thanks.
Now, do you know if Mr. Jackson has other children?
Muskie.
Oh no, I don't know.
Okay. Let's see here. Do you have any information as to Mr. Jackson's income?
I don't know anything about him, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay, now Ms. Williams, I'm gonna put you on mute. And Mr. Jackson, I ask that you unmute for your testimony. All right, go ahead, Ms. Hood.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, you heard Ms. Williams' testimony regarding the incidents of family violence. Do you disagree?
I disagree 100%.
Do you recall the incident where she's alleging you went up to her place of employment and you hit one of her co-workers?
Judge Evans, Ms. Hood, I didn't hit anybody. She's a woman. She can pick up the phone and call and say whatever she want to say, and it's gonna be heard.
Not only is this juicy enough, but then Johnny Young starts playing PlayStation during the hearing.
I didn't touch anybody. Nobody, man.
It
was Valentine's Day. I was getting my kids something to eat, and I had them on Valentine's bag just full of stuff. I didn't know that she worked there. I have never seen her with a job. I ain't know that she worked at Whataburger. I didn't hit nobody. I'm not a violent person, nothing. She makes threats, and she don't want nobody to say nothing bad.
So hold up, Mr. Jackson. So because that was what was going to be my question. What was this place of employment? So it was Whataburger. So what you're saying is you were just gone to Whataburger to get yourself something. You weren't going to come to her job for her.
You're right,
is that
Laura.
what you're saying?
Judge Evans, I don't speak to this woman. I don't talk to this woman.
Wait.
Oh,
But just listen to what I'm asking. You're saying I was just a customer. It's just coincidence that she worked there. You didn't know that she worked there.
I swear to God on my life, I was getting my kids something to eat.
So question, although you didn't know she worked there, did you and mom have words while you were there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so did someone from her job intervene because y'all were having words?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And was the police called that day, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you arrested?
Yes, ma'am.
What did the police officer arrest you for?
Because he picked up the phone and called them. Nothing.
I mean, did they say because you assaulted someone, you were trespassing? What was the reason they said they were arresting you for?
Terroristic threat. And both sides were making threats.
That's what they said you were doing. Okay. All right. Now, are you aware that she was granted a temporary protective order or restraining order? She was?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I have a question. Has she ever been arrested for any family violence towards you?
She has like muffed me in my face one time, but there's no point of us calling the police because I'm a man. They're not gonna believe her. Oh, she's a man. So I wasn't tripping on that, but she has muffed me in my face.
Two different questions. My very first question was, just because someone's not arrested doesn't mean something didn't happen. My question to you first was, has she ever been arrested for any family violence towards you? That would be no.
I don't know her.
Okay. So then next, you're saying she has scratched you before in your face, correct? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, but I let it slide. But I don't let so I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't let stuff like that slide. I let it slide.
And you don't have any protective orders or restraining orders against her?
No, man, I I'm good everywhere I go, Judge Edmonds.
Mr.
I need it.
Jackson, I have to ask certain things, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So next questions will be coming from Ms. Hood. Go ahead, Ms. Hood.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, you disagree with Ms. Williams being named as the primary conservator who gets to determine where the children live in Dallas or contiguous counties? Do you disagree?
100%.
Why do you
100%.
disagree? Why do you disagree with that?
Because I lived with them. She told a lot. I was living with them out there in, they were living in somewhere far. Allen, Texas. They are disgusting. That house is disgusting. I swear to God. Every morning I was getting up, cleaning up for my babies.
Well, Mr. Jackson, listen to her question, but I got something to ask you since it was so disgusting. Did you ever report her to CPS?
I was told to, Judge Evan, but I want my kids to get involved with that.
Okay, so have they always lived with mama? Other than when you lived there, have they always lived with their mom, even though someone else might be living there? Have they always lived with mom?
Sadly, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Hood, next question.
Thank you. And sir, are you're working right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I work at Chicken Express, and I have a on-job interview in the morning.
Okay,
New
where is
job.
that job interview?
That's at Jason's Deli
Okay.
Distribution Center.
And just backing up, so Chicken Express, do you get paid by the hour? How much do you make per hour, sir?
Right now, I'm making $10 an hour.
How many hours do you work on average each week?
Like I told you earlier, 25 a week.
Do you ever get more than 25 hours a week?
No, but starting this week, I will be asking for more.
Okay. And Jason's Deli, you just have an interview. You don't have a job offer yet. Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure I got the job, Ms. Hood. You know, I'm a hard-working young man.
But right now, the only income you have is the $10 an hour, 25 hours a week.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other children, biological children, or adopted children under the age of 18?
I have a child on the way.
Okay.
Another one.
All right, sir. And earlier I asked you about the government medical. Do you have access to private health insurance or dental insurance for your 4 children?
My job stated me that I will have access to all that. So when I get, as of now, no, ma'am, but in the future, yes.
Okay. And you understand that the state is asking the court to order Ms. Williams to enroll the children in the government medical plan, correct?
I really don't understand about all that stuff. I really don't know. So
Okay, so
correct.
Mr. Jackson, if mommy doesn't have health insurance through an employer and daddy doesn't have health insurance through an employer, the only option is state health insurance, which is Medicaid or CHIPS, because the children have to be covered for vaccinations or when they get sick and so forth. So the state is saying, you don't have it available, mama doesn't have it available. So the state is saying, we need to have the kids on Medicaid. That's what she's saying. And it's not free. And she's going to ask for a certain amount that would stay with the state from you for the children's health and dental insurance. Okay. All right, Ms. Hood, you may proceed with your next question.
Thank you. All right, sir. The state is, you understand that the state is asking that you pay to reimburse for the government medical plan. You understand that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. Judge, I lost my calculation. And the state is asking that you be ordered to reimburse the state at a cost of $98 per month, cash medical support beginning June 1st, 2023. Do you agree with that calculation?
So like, who am I paying that to, Ms. Hood? Am I paying to, like, who am I paying the money to?
You would be ordered to, if the court orders you to pay child support and cash medical support, you will be ordered to pay that to Ms. Williams, but the $98 is to reimburse the state for the government medical, since neither one of you has private health insurance available.
So the state would keep it.
Yes.
It goes through San Antonio. The state would keep the $98 for the 4 kids' health and dental insurance, sir.
And if my job which they have already told me.
If you can beat $98, then you can enroll them. Yes,
Okay.
and then you would keep the 98. That's gonna be a very good job though if you could beat $98 for 4 babies for health and dental. But I don't know. You might can. Most people can't. But maybe your employer will have great health benefits. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Hood.
Thank you. And you understand the state is also asking that the court order that you and Ms. Williams split equally 50-50 any out-of-pocket expenses not covered by the government medical. Okay. And
so wait, so my court reporter can't take a thumbs up. She gonna need you to.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right.
Sorry, Judge, I didn't even think about that. My apologies.
All right.
And based off of your income, sir, the state has calculated that your child support amount would be $266 per month beginning June 1st, 2023. Do you agree to pay $266 a month child support?
Judge Evans, Ms. Hood, I don't. But I know it's gonna happen anyway. So basically I'm paying to see my children. You asked me the time I've seen my children this month?
No, you're not paying to see them. I'm going to explain about visitation and child support do not go hand in hand. You're not paying to see your children. So I'll explain that at the end. But the $266 is for the financial support where lights, water, rent, diapers, daycare, whatever is needed for that month, which is usually the same monthly expenses every month. So I'll explain about child support and visitation momentarily. Her question to you right now, sir, is do you agree that you should pay based on your income $266 per month for your 4 kids?
No, ma'am. But
what's up,
Zoomer?
Zoomers?
Why not? That's the next question.
What's up, Mark?
So why don't you agree?
Trish, Lenny Lynn, Ginger.
I'm a hard work. I can take care of my children by I'm the mother. These are my kids. And she's already told me she's gonna take care of another nigga with my kids.
Okay, no, don't use derogatory terms. She says she's gonna take care of another person with.
Yes, these are all the threats. Yeah, this is planned and set up. My only mistake, Judge Evans, was not listening to my mama saying put yourself on child support. I don't want my kids in that system. I don't want none of that. Man, I could have gave you that money a month. You don't have to do this. She's only doing this because, like she said, she's gonna be taking care of another man with my money. And I'm very upset, Judge Evans. I'm not upset with you, Judge Evans. I'm just upset that I made the mistake of not putting myself on child support. This year alone, I've only seen my kids twice. Twice. This year.
I'm gonna address all that. Okay, so he disagrees with that, Ms. Hood. You may proceed, Ms. Hood.
Thank you.
And Ms. Williams, keep your face in the screen. Go ahead, Ms. Hood.
Okay, sir, do you have concerns about Ms. Jackson knowing your address?
Who?
I'm sorry, Ms. Williams, sorry. Do you have concerns about her knowing your address?
Oh, no.
And you did hear her request for non-disclosure.
Daddy good. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're fine with that, okay.
Oh yeah, daddy good.
I'm sorry?
Daddy is good.
Okay, I thought he said that is good. Okay. You heard Miss Williams' testimony. She's asking that her address, her contact information, not be in this court order. Are you okay with that?
I am fine with it.
Okay. And sir, the state is also asking that you be ordered to pay court costs in this matter.
What's that?
To reimburse the state for filing this case.
I'll explain that too.
Okay, thank you. All right, pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm gonna put Mr. Jackson on mute. Ms. Williams, go ahead and unmute yourself. I got one question for you. Unmute yourself, Ms. Jackson. Have you ever scratched Mr. Jackson in his, unmute yourself, Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams, have you ever scratched Mr. Jackson?
Have I ever scratched Mr. Jackson?
In his face?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever put your hands on him first?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So I need Mr. Jackson, stop, and I need both of you to listen to me. Both of you are very young and emotional. Both of you have 2 sets of twins, which is a lot for anyone, especially 2 young people. You both need to press the reset button and calm down. That's not going to be good for the children. I'm going to explain a couple of things and then I'm going to make a ruling. Child support and visitation do not go hand in hand. So this order is going to set the new parameters of how this is supposed to go. Even if he does not pay his child support, he has the legal right to see his child. Ms. Williams, if you keep his children away from him, then he can hire his own attorney and file a motion for enforcement, and there's consequences to that regarding visitation, okay? If he fails to pay child support and medical support, you could hire your own attorney and file something as well. There's consequences if he fails to pay child support and medical support. So they do not go hand in hand, although everything will be in the order. Now, Ms. Williams, I want to see your face when I'm talking to you. So put your face in the screen. Okay. What the court is going to find is mutual, and Mr. Jackson too. I'm having to repeat myself too much. So if I'm repeating myself, I know you guys are having issues with each other because both of you are grown adults and you should be paying attention to what I'm saying. Nothing else is more important than what I'm saying right now about your 4 children. I'm going to find mutual family violence, mutual non-disclosure. I'm also, because of that, it cannot be joint managing conservatorship. It has to be sole managing conservatorship because of the family violence. He will have standard visitation with the exchange location as the police department, which will be in the order. I'm going to order that you continue the children on government health insurance and that Mr. Jackson reimburse the government $98 a month beginning June 1. That $98 will stay with the state for reimbursement. I'm going to order child support of $266 beginning June 1. No retroactive child support, court costs assessed to Mr. Jackson. Now, state of Texas does not audit or regulate how child support is spent. Sometimes people do say things that are very ugly. Everyone has been to the grocery store recently, knows how much clothes cost, lights, rent. There's no possible way that $266 will cover 4 children. I doubt seriously there'll be 1 nickel left to spend on anyone else other than her children. So sometimes people say things to get other people's goat and to get them all upset. I can't see where there'll be 1 extra dime out of $266 to take care of 4 children. There couldn't be a dime left to spend on another man, woman, or dog. She's going to need all the $266 for those 4 children. Now, that is the court's ruling, and you both will receive a copy of the order. Calm down. Make sure you're focusing on the children for the best interest of the kids. If either one of you disagree with my ruling, you can appeal my decision. You would have to file it yourself or hire your own private attorney. The AG's office only represents the state of Texas and would not assist either of you with an appeal. You both are free to go and have a good day. You can disconnect from the Zoom.
Judge, can I have a question?
No questions for me. You can have a question for the Attorney General's office. I get to ask all the questions. You got something for Ms. Hood?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Love her.
Ms. Hood.
Yes.
Do I still get to see my children though?
Yes.
Yes. Good.
I ordered that. Overnight visits. All of that will be in the order. Okay? And you will receive a copy of it in your email today.
So what's the overnight?
Overnight is every other weekend. 1st, 3rd, and 5th weekends. Friday at 6.
Did he just ask what overnight visit is?
You're going to go to the police department and pick them up. You'll have them to Sunday at 6. You're going to return them then. You're going to have time for summer vacation, spring vacation, rotating holidays, time with them for Father's Day. All of that is in the order.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. And
So now, if she didn't have control of her courtroom like some other judges we watched, this would have been a disaster. But she handled him like I've never seen. He was ready to explode, and she just calmed him down. It was great. This was a masterpiece. All right, so we've seen every type of cam. Today we even saw the chin cam. I know you guys saw that TPO. It's on one of my videos. I dropped it today. I think Credence and Mikey had it live. But have you ever seen this cam? Yes, the highway cam. We officially have a highway cam. It went on for over 30 minutes. Why? Why? Here we go. Bombshell time. I've been saving this. Here we go.
Your Honor, my name is Garrett Dickermengen, and I represent the state. Your Honor, we've approached you today. The state's requesting that genetic testing be ordered.
Okay.
Because we have a presumed father, Your Honor.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Is anyone objecting to genetic testing?
Judge Baker, Galveston.
Yeah.
Okay. And why is that, Mr. DeCarlos?
Because she's okay. So let's just do this. I'm her father. I was signed the birth certificate. This dude hasn't been in this girl's life
Sir,
in
please
over
remember you're in court.
20 years.
Listen.
I'm sorry?
Please remember you're in court right now. So please, in court we try to speak nicely to one another and use court protocols.
Well, this is aggravating.
Okay, I'm sorry that you find it aggravating, but please just remember you are in court right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so again, why are you objecting to this?
Okay, because it's my daughter. There's no need for a test. I signed the birth certificate. This man hasn't been around in over 10, 15, 20 years. They were married when they were children. Okay, so there's no suspected father. Now, about the Medicaid. Medicaid told me not to even, I had her on insurance. I got told to take her off because I don't have to pay for it. Why pay for it if you don't have to? So yeah,
Objection, Your Honor. It's not
no
relevant.
objection, nothing, man. You
Sir,
kept trying to talk over me in the fucking meeting, bro.
Sir. Okay, this is the judge, and that is inappropriate language right now. We are live on YouTube. There could be children watching. And if we're in a courtroom, completely inappropriate, sir. So please watch your manners and watch your language. This is a court of law. This is an official building. So please don't talk like that. No one's talking to you like that. And he has a legal right to object. People, let's just break this down. We're going to start at the beginning, sir. This is court, and so we treat it like court. We take testimony in court typically. Right now I'm letting you speak because it's one issue and it's a small issue. But typically we have an AAG ask each of you questions. I request that nobody, if you're not the one being asked questions, you don't interrupt unless you have a legal objection. Anyone who has a valid legal objection has to interrupt so that I can rule on it. This is part of the court process, sir. I understand this is frustrating for you, and I understand it's difficult, and I understand that based on what you're saying, you've been this child's father for a very long time. I get all that, but you still have to act professionally and appropriately in the courtroom. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Dehameja, what was your legal objection?
Your Honor, I just objected for relevance because we're here for genetic testing. That's the only reason. I wasn't trying to.
I understand, and I'm going to sustain that objection, which means I'm granting the objection. They're at this point in the case, they're requesting genetic testing. I don't know what insurance has to do with genetic testing, so it's not relevant to this. But you may continue if there's something else relevant about why you object to the genetic testing.
Because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Why am I being harassed to go for genetic testing for my child? That's what I want to know. Like, why am I being harassed for this? Because I pay child support for other children, so I'm just in the system and it's just luck of the draw.
Okay.
Like, I'm on the birth certificate. What else do you need?
Okay,
You want
Ms.
a photo?
Kelly? Ms. Kelly, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yes, I haven't seen Josh Bishop since I was 17. We got married. Our parents had to sign our marriage certificate.
One moment, ma'am. It's hard to hear you. Are you on speakerphone?
No. Should I be? Can you hear me now?
Stop it. Yeah, make sure the phone's up to your ear, because if you're on speakerphone, it's very hard to hear, and it's everything you're both saying is important, and I want to hear it.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. That's much better.
Love it, Matt.
Okay. I haven't seen Josh Bishop since I was 17 years old. We got married when we were kids, and I haven't even been around him. Me and Paul have been together for a long time. Me and Josh got divorced before Sky was even conceived. I haven't seen that man. I don't know why. I don't know how this even came about, because she's on Medicaid.
So you're saying you're divorced from Mr. Bishop?
Yes, ma'am. I have a finalized divorce decree and everything. We did that years ago. He pushed for the divorce through email, and because he was moving to another state and he was getting remarried.
Okay.
So
yeah.
he's already remarried.
Was the divorce decree, was the divorce after Skylar was born or before Skylar was born?
No, ma'am. It was before.
Is it within,
I mean, it was a year before she was born.
okay, so it's within the timeframes to legally be a presumed father, Mr. De Himeja?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Ma'am, did you name the child in that divorce decree? Well, you couldn't have, because you were. Yeah, unfortunately, there's laws in effect in Texas that establish when someone's a presumed father. And if you're born within so many days of a divorce, you are a presumed father legally. And that's why we are where we are today. There's laws that we have to follow.
That's terrible.
And so I'm going to grant the genetic testing. It's not invasive. There's no blood involved. It's a Q-tip to the mouth. It's free. The state pays for it. They'll coordinate with you to send you to a location that's convenient. And then you'll be following the laws and you won't have to worry about this. So I am going to order genetic testing based on the fact there's a presumed father. And that's what the law requires when there's a presumed father. Mr. De Himeja, when do you want to come back? When do you think you'll have the test results back?
If we could set it out 45 days at least, Your Honor. I'm thinking sometime mid-June. So.
How's June 26th or 28th looking, to give it a little extra time?
26 is fine.
Okay.
At 9 a.m.
Reset to June 26th at 9 a.m. And so if you all go promptly for testing, we should have those results back by the time that next hearing is. And then at that point, we can move forward with the actual issues in the case.
Yeah, she doesn't seem too concerned, the wife, but you never know. We've seen crazier.
And are you all wanting to be on Zoom again, or do you want to come live to the courthouse?
We can do Zoom again.
Okay, Mr. DeCarlos?
Yeah, we can do Zoom. It's fine.
Okay, so we'll do Zoom again. Please remember, though, even though we're on computers, we treat it just like as if you were coming live to a courthouse. So just please remember that next time. Doesn't mean you can't have a hearing. You can still have a hearing. You can still have your say if you need to. But we just have to treat each other with respect.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. De Himeja, do you want them back in the breakout rooms to review the genetic test order?
Please, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're going to have you all go back to the breakout rooms. The AG's office will
All right. I told you that was a bomb. I was like, whoa, when I heard that. Whoa, what was that? And that was a goodie. All right, here we go. Judge Webster, she never disappoints. I had a couple to decide who was going to be the main event. So what I'm going to start doing now, guys, the ones that, instead of having the long drawn-out lives, what I'm going to do is the clips, because I have so many clips from the day, The clips that I don't play, I'll give you short clips because the short clips are getting great responses and views, and people seem to love it. So we'll have the short and then the long for the live people who like the live, clips for people who like the short clips. All right, here we go. Butler's finest today. Top of, I don't even know, a pile of dog shit. Who knows? Here we go.
Hey, Beeman.
Willie Beeman?
They can hear me. They just don't want to answer me.
Oh, look at him.
Okay, Mr. Beeman, can you hear me okay? All right. We are on the record in Greenwood County case number 2023 CR 76, State of Kansas versus Jimmy Wayne Beeman. The state appears by and through County Attorney Miss Jill Gillette. The defendant appears in person and pro se. Mr. Beeman, in count 1, you are accused of unlawful distribution or possession with intent to distribute the controlled substance methamphetamine in an amount greater than 3.5 grams but less than 100 grams. The state believes you had approximately 43.8 grams. This is charged as a level 3 drug felony. If convicted, a level 3 drug felony carries a 46-month to an 83-month sentence and a fine up to $300,000. Count 2, you're charged with unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia in the form of numerous small baggies and digital scales with the intent to manufacture, cultivate, plant, propagate, harvest, test, analyze, or distribute a controlled substance. Possession of paraphernalia for one of these purposes is a level 5 drug felony. That means if you were to be convicted, you could serve 10 to 42 months in the Department of Corrections, commonly known as prison, and you could pay a fine up to $100,000. In count 3, you are accused of criminal possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. In this case, the state is saying that you possessed a Taurus 9mm handgun while having been convicted within the preceding 10 years for a felony in Greenwood County case number 14 CR 77 and or Allen County 15 CR 125. This charge is a level 8 non-person felony. If convicted, you could be looking at another 7 to 23 months in prison and another fine up to $100,000, as this is a level 8 non-person felony. In count 4, you're accused of defacing identification marks of a firearm. The state is alleging that you knowingly possessed a firearm with the identification intentionally changed, altered, removed, or obliterated to cover or do away with the name of the maker, model, manufacturer number, or other marks. And again, that would be the Taurus 9mm handgun, apparently referred to in count 3. This charge is a level 10 non-person felony and carries 5 to 13 months in prison and a fine of $100,000. In count 5, you're accused of intentionally and knowingly possessing in excess of 3 grams methamphetamines. At that amount, you are required to have a drug dealer tax stamp affixed, and you did not have. So if convicted, this level 10 non-person felony carries 5 to 13 months in prison and a fine of up to $100,000. In count 6, you're accused of unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. This paraphernalia would be syringes, metal spoon, cotton swab, smoking pipe used not to grow or cultivate, etc., but rather to store, contain, conceal, inject, ingest, inhale, or otherwise introduce a controlled substance into the human body. This charge is a B, non-person misdemeanor, and it carries up to 6 months in prison, in jail, the county jail, and up to $1,000 in fines. Now, count 7 is transporting an open container of alcohol. In this count, the state is alleging that you were operating or a passenger in a motor vehicle with 2 bottles of whiskey, the seal to which had been broken and was in access to the driver. This is an unclassified misdemeanor. It has its own set of penalties. The penalties can be up to $200 in fines and 6 months in the county jail. The state is alleging that all 7 of these counts occurred April 14th, 2023 in Greenwood County, Kansas. So, Mr. Beeman, do you have any questions so far about what the state is accusing you or the possible penalties we've gone over? You do have the right to preliminary hearings and the right to an attorney. Do you wish to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed? I'm sorry, I didn't. Court appointed?
Oh, hiring.
Oh, you're hiring an attorney. All right, well, I will tell you the same thing I told the other gentleman. If you get out there and you find out they're way too expensive, or for whatever reason you decide you want or need to apply for court appointed, please come and do that at the courthouse soon instead of waiting until your next hearing date. And your next hearing date will be called a preliminary hearing control. And Missy, what's that date in July that you were setting those?
July 7th at 1:30.
July 7th at 1:30. Is that acceptable to you, Mr. Beeman?
I'm going to apply for a court appointed just in case I don't have one by that date.
All right. July 7th at 1:30. Is that acceptable to you, though? For your next appearance?
That's his lawyer.
Let me put this another way. Is there any reason why you can't be here July 7th at 1:30?
No.
All right, and that will be by Zoom, so make sure my assistant Missy has your information to get you those Zoom codes. They will be different. Now, let's talk about your attorney. Are you employed at this time? I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
No.
No? How long have you been unemployed?
Since March.
Okay. Are you able to work?
Yes.
Is it a physical disability?
I am a heart patient.
Okay. And do you have any income at all to use to hire an attorney? Like, do you have any savings or certificates of deposit, anything like that?
Do I have money?
Okay. There's a lady that seems to be assisting you there. Is that your wife or girlfriend or sister? Hi, what's your name?
Beeman.
What's your first name?
Gloria.
Still not hearing you.
Gloria.
Gloria Beeman. So are you his wife then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. I'm going to appoint an attorney. Check back here with my assistant later in the week to find out who that is. And make sure that you contact that attorney if you're going to use the attorney. As Mr. Beeman said, you're still welcome to hire an attorney if you can. Otherwise, you can use the court-appointed attorney, but make sure you have contact hopefully before that July 7th at 1:30.
Okay, so this application they give us, do we need to fill this out and turn it in to you guys?
Why don't you go ahead and fill it out for the file? Just leave it here, but call back here and find out who the attorney is from Missy later in the week. Okay, and then once you find out who the attorney is, contact Missy and she'll give you the name of the attorney and you can contact the attorney. All right, and bond is set at 25,000 surety, and I will continue that. All right, anything else that we can help you with? Nope. All right, thank you. You may go, sir. Does Casey Graham Shear want to acknowledge yourself? Thank you. We are on the record in 2023 CR 87, State of Kansas versus Casey Louise Graham Shear.
Here we go. Next one, right after we got her too. She's even better than this one.
CR 87, State of Kansas versus Casey Louise Graham Shear. The state appears by and through. County Attorney Jill Gillette. The defendant appears in person and pro se. Miss Graham Shearer, you are here in count 1 for domestic battery, causing physical contact with a family or household member, done in a rude, insulting, or angry manner. The family member is Jared Everly. A family or household member is a Jared Everly. If convicted, the fine is $200 up to $1,000, and the must serve is 48 hours, but you could serve up to 6 months. Now, the court can waive the mandatory portions in exchange for making you do a certified domestic violence offender assessment and complying with it. If you have a prior domestic battery, though, it increases the penalties every time you get a new domestic violence conviction. In count 2, you're accused of disorderly conduct, using fighting words or engaging in noisy conduct, tending reasonably to arouse alarm, anger, or resentment in others. Again, Jared Everly. In count 3, you're accused of interference with law enforcement. In this count, they are saying that the state, is alleging that you obstructed law enforcement in the discharge of their official duty. You took off and started walking away from them when they were trying to get you to comply with orders, including orders to turn around and to put your hands behind your back. If convicted, this would be a Class A non-person misdemeanor. The penalty could be up to 12 months in the county jail, and your fine could be up to $2,500. Ms. Graham Shearer, do you have any questions about the charges or the possible penalties? All right, are you going to apply for court appointed or hire an attorney?
I'm going to apply for court appointed.
Okay, I could be mistaken, but I think you are standing there having contact with someone that your bond says you're not supposed to. Sir, you're interrupting her hearing. Would you please have a seat? Now, are you applying for an attorney or hiring a court appointed?
I'm going to apply for one.
All right, you will need to fill out an application, but are you employed? Do you have a job? Where do you work?
At that Fall River Market.
Some
The
type of,
grocery store in Fall River.
oh, the grocery store in Fall River? And do you work 40 hours a week?
Close to.
What do you make per month?
About $1,000 a month.
Okay. And you're married?
No.
All right. Do you have children?
I have a daughter.
How old is she?
15.
Do you help support her?
She doesn't live with me.
She doesn't live with you, so you don't help support her? Okay.
I do, but I don't, in a sense, I guess. She lives with her grandma, but if she needs something, I give it to her.
Okay. Do you have any money in savings or any other accounts?
Yeah, about 60K.
All right. I'm going to appoint Attorney Shannon Cooper. I
And
still
Apple
want you to fill
stock.
out the form. And the officers can give you Miss Cooper's card so you can call her. When's their court date? Missing?
This isn't even the best
June
part.
20th at 3:30.
It's coming.
You will need to be back by Zoom hearing with Miss Cooper on, you said June 20th at 3:30?
Yes.
So make sure you're not late or you could get a warrant. Right now, you're on a 7,500 personal surety or professional surety bond. If you're not back here June 20th at 3:30, ready to go on your case, then you can get a warrant for your arrest and the forfeiture of that $7,500 bond. Do you have any questions so far?
Ma'am.
All right, now, I think that takes care of everything in your case, but was that Jared Everly that stood up there behind you?
Uh-oh.
I can't hear you, was it?
You're in trouble.
What's your relationship to Jared Everly?
He's my boyfriend.
And do you live together in Fall River?
Currently, no, I'm at my father's right now because of the no contact.
So is the house in Fall River his?
It belongs to his parents, but he lives in it.
All right, so because you were ordered to have no contact, you moved into your parents' home?
I'm currently staying with my father for now.
Your
We're
father?
hoping to we were hoping to get the no contact lifted if at all possible.
So you've been having contact with him to plan this request?
No.
Then how do you know that we are wanting to do this?
Well, I'm assuming that's why he's here.
All right. You go sit down and let him come forward as an alleged victim. He does have the right to address the court. Come on up here, sir.
Uh-oh. Detective Phyllis.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the statement you're about to make shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Are you Jared Everly? And you're the accused victim in this case? And you are the boyfriend of the defendant, Casey Louise Graham Shearer? And you were living together in your parents' house in Fall River until April 15th, 2023, when these incidents occurred? Okay, now you're gonna have to, I'm not sure why that microphone is so bad today, but I can't hear you. Okay. Now, have you been having contact with her? Under pains and penalties of perjury, your sworn statement is no, you have not had any contact with her. Not directly or indirectly through a third party, through an email, a text, a Facebook?
Third party, maybe.
Third party, maybe? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sort of. Friend.
Sort of.
Look at her face.
I've been at this a while now. I kind of think I figured out how things work. So what's your final answer?
I dropped a no contact order. I mean,
Is there a chair in front of you that could put you closer to the microphone? I don't know if that would help at all.
can you see me now?
That's much better. Okay, now, under oath, what contact have the two of you been having?
Talked to each other, seen each other a couple times, but other than that, we haven't, and it's kind of hard to go to work, and me and my boss, we stop at the store all the time and eat, and I haven't been going to the store eating breakfast or lunch, just in finding what I can to eat at home, and I do want to be with her, so it makes it a little rough.
Okay. Well, thank you for your candor with the court. Your eventual candor. At first, you kind of tried to hoodwink me, but I think we
Sorry
both
about
knew.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we both knew that I knew better. I don't appreciate the fact that she went away saying you hadn't had contact. But anyway, we're going to start new from this point. Ms. Gillette, the state's response to this gentleman's request to have contact with the defendant?
I prefer that they have some kind of counseling done. It appears this was a pretty serious incident that could have resulted in them having a bad accident with her behavior in the vehicle. So I would like to see some classes for her as part of the things that I was going to ask for in the case for her.
Well, I think that's a reasonable recommendation because I don't know if she's guilty or not guilty, but I know there's some allegations here that there's been some physical contact, and Ms. Gillette just kind of threw a few more bits at me to be concerned. Any contact you guys are going to have will have to be in a therapist's office until that therapist tells me it's okay for you to have something outside of her office or his office.
Okay.
I'll go that far for you. But you set it up with the therapist. One of you are you going to be the one that sets it up with the therapist?
I'm not sure.
Well, I need to know because here's what
Where
I
do you
want.
find it? Where do you find
One
the
of you,
therapist?
one of you call a marriage counselor therapist and say, we need this counseling and here's the deal. We can only meet under court order in your office. Let that therapist meet with you, then meet with the two of you or however they want to do it. And then after the therapist has met with you, the therapist, I don't want you going and talking to her about who do we want to go to and when are we going to do this and all that. No, one of you needs to set it up and then the therapist can notify the other one when they want to do it and then you can go. And that's not unusual in these domestic violence cases, but I just want somebody that deals professionally with the mental health aspect and the relation aspect of this to tell me that they're not afraid of you two having contact and that they're not afraid we're going to have a repeat.
It was just a drunken night. We got drunk.
What?
A drunk night. Alcohol involved, a drunk night.
A drunk night? The two of you had a drunk night?
Not two of us.
Oh, she had a drunk night.
Yes. I was the driver. I only had 2 drinks at dinner time, and that was it. And her and my friends just kept drinking.
Okay. And then apparently something happened in the automobile on the way home from what Miss Gillette said.
Yes, I have a manual transmission in my truck, and she was messing with the gear shifter, and it was trying to keep her from messing with the gear shifter. I dropped off the road a couple times, but that's gravel road and didn't hurt nothing.
But it could have, like Miss Gillette said.
Well, yes, it could have.
Maybe we need more alcohol and drug counseling than we need marital therapy. But let's see what the therapist, do you know any therapists around your part of the country? Miss Gillette, do you know any out there? They said they live in Fall River. That's quite a ways out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, 4 County Mental Health serves Fall River. There's an office in Fredonia. There's offices that come to Howard. There's offices that come to Independence. We're at 4 County Mental Health serves kind of that area pretty well. Crosswinds might be in their catchment area because Crosswinds has offices here in Eureka and cover Greenwood County, but they may be closer to one of the 4 County offices.
Have you heard of 4 County Mental Health, sir?
I've heard of it.
Okay, well, we see them quite a bit. Fredonia is probably the closest to you.
Yep, I'd say so.
Okay. Give those folks a call and see what they can do for you.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we'll be in recess, but in the meantime, Miss Graham Shear, no contact means no contact except in therapy. Clear about that? All right, you may go. But not with him.
Not with him. Guys, it's been great. If you're not in the Discord, I don't know why you aren't. Go and join the Discord. It is great. We talk all day long. It is a great time. I love it. Kiss your family. Don't go to bed angry. And God bless. And always remember, I'm Phil, and you have been served.